All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus. It is time. It's time to go over PFF grades, react to the top and bottom offensive and defensive grades from PFF, the way they saw our Minnesota Vikings in the game in the victory against the Tennessee Titans. So let's hop right into it. I mean, again, always the same disclaimer. PFF, they have their grading scale. No one seems to know what the heck it is. And we like to see how it meshes up with how we saw the game and who maybe some of our studs and our turds were, and if those same names appear as a highly graded player or a lowly graded player. Let's start at the bottom five on defense. Number 5, Cam Bynum with a 59.7. Yeah, I can't really argue this one. Bynum was kind of a no-show in this game. I think he just registered 2 total tackles, and the big play last week, the big celebration, gets the spotlight on him. Then he follows it up with a kind of a dud game against the Titans, or at least not a splashy game. So 59.7, can't really argue that one. Again, for a guy who just didn't seem to do much. Byron Murphy with a 59.1. Yeah, anybody in the secondary should get a bad grade. Just allowing Will Levis to throw for 295 yards. The big bomb there when you have him backed up on the 2-yard line. Very, very embarrassing in the secondary. Actually, to give you guys a spoiler, every single player with a bad grade here is in the secondary. So Byron Murphy, 4th lowest with a 59.1. Harrison Smith, Hitman, with a 55.6. Of all the guys on this list, I thought he did enough positive plays to maybe have that grade be higher, but apparently not. I know he maybe was on part of the coverage with those back-to-back bombs, where one was called back on a penalty, the other one was completed. But overall, Hitman, he had 2 tackles on the day, and he had that interception, so 2 pass breakups. So I don't know. I thought he was better than that. I would have put him a little bit higher than that. But again, the secondary was awful. Shaq Griffin, 54.6, makes sense. He was, I think, on the second one after the penalty bomb by Levis. He was the one in coverage there, chasing down Westbrook Akine. And so Shaq Griffin 100% deserves that. And Josh Metellus, 29.7 was the grade they gave him, the lowest among all defenders, and well-deserved. He was the guy on the coverage. That was his man when they hit the 98-yard bomb. Most embarrassing play against the Vikings this entire year. Will frickin' Levis does that to you. You deserve a 29.7. Maybe that's even generous. Josh Metellus, we were talking about this earlier, kind of been a no-show this year. Like I'm sure he's playing fine, but where are the stats? Where are the big plays? Where are the holy crap? Josh Metellus is fantastic. Just not happening this year. So had a great season last year, explosive season, following up with a little bit more of a quiet one. Let's just stay on defense. We're going to stick on defense here and go right to the top. Jonathan Grenard, 73.7. Hell yeah. The dude's always just a beast. He's always in the mix. He's always creating pressures, spinning off would-be blockers. Great against the run as well. 73.7. No problem with that. Andrew Van Ginkel to 74.6. Thought he would actually be a little higher because, when you have 7 total tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, and you get graded as a 74.6, shame on you, PFF. That should be higher. That's a little bit ridiculous. Patrick Jones, a guy they don't like to grade very nicely, gets a 75.9. And, he had 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss. I don't know what else they need to see. I would have bumped it up a little bit higher. Jonathan Bullard, again, this D-line, we talked about underrated things. I don't think we get enough credit how good this D-line was yesterday. Shutting down Titans run game. Jonathan Bullard, a big part of that, with a 76.2 grade. Yeah, I would be fine if all these were in the 80s. I think that's more fair. The 70s seems low on all of these. And the highest defensive graded player was Blake Cashman with an 84.2. Cashman, just the catalyst. He's the man in the middle. He's the man doing everything. He had 4 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. The dude's a beast. And again, 84.2, he should probably be, if he's the highest, he should be 94. The rest should be in the 80s, in my opinion. So overall, I like the names. I like where they put them. I just think the grades should be higher with what we saw from those players. Let's go to offense. Let's start in the bottom so we end on a positive note. That's what we do here at the Onebar and Lupagus show. We end on positive notes. Jordan Edison with a 53.0. I don't know. I know he was cramping. So maybe they thought he should have caught some of those balls that, one where he almost broke his back, the other one where I think he was sprinting down the sideline or down the middle of the field, couldn't quite catch up to it. So they didn't like that. Again, I don't agree with the 53. I think that should be higher. Number 4 is TJ Hawkinson with a 50.9. I think he had only like 2 targets. He caught one of those. Should he have caught the other one? Maybe. It's TJ Hawkinson. I would like to see him more involved in the passing game. 50.9. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it his fault he wasn't that involved? I don't know. But whatever he did do, I guess they didn't like. Dalton Reisner with a 50. Reisner kind of getting mixed reviews by fans, people in the media. Even Kevin O'Connell wasn't overly. He kind of did the dreaded. He did some nice things for us line, which is never good for a Vikings player. But a 50. 50 for Dalton Reisner. Yeah, I don't know. I thought pass protection was better. We didn't have a lot of success in the running game yesterday, but very good defensive line by the Titans. So maybe that's more to do with it. We'll see. I'm assuming Reisner will start next week, but who knows? Maybe KOC saw enough. Coming up, the second worst score on offense is Jalen Naylor with a 36.6. That's generous. That should be a 6.6. He has a bomb that he lets go right off his chest. He had another drop in this game. I don't know why he still is wide receiver 3. If I'm KOC, I'm putting Brandon Powell out there or Trent Sherfield. I don't give a shit. Just not Jalen Naylor. 36.6. I don't know what he did that was good in this game. Maybe his route running was really clean, but 36.6 is extremely generous. I think that number should be way lower, and he should be number 1 on the bottom list on offense. But then you got Aaron Jones. He was the worst, 29.7. I was not impressed with Aaron Jones yesterday. I thought Cam Akers looked like the better back. He had the pitch that I thought it was on him. It looked like a fine pitch to me. He got to catch that. He couldn't do it. And then he had a fumble later that he recovered himself. And again, just, I don't know. Is he tired? Is he hurt? There seems to be a lot of people making excuses for Aaron Jones. I still love him. Love him to death and love that he's part of this team. Want that big game. I want that big game. I want to see him go over 100, maybe 120, 130 total yards, but hasn't been able to do it lately. We'll see what he can do against the Bears, but 29.7. It should be low. It seems a little on the low side. I guess I would have put Jalen Naylor below him, but they did not do that. Let's go to the bright shining stars of this offense according to PFF, and that's these top 5 guys here. I'll start with Garrett Bradbury, who came in with a 66.7. I don't know. Pass protection was fine. Run blocking wasn't so good. But I don't remember seeing him absolutely destroyed by Jeffrey Simmons. So maybe that's a win for Garrett Bradbury and a deserved 66.7. Justin Jefferson with a 68.4. He had like 4 catches for 81 yards. He set the record for most receiving yards. That was the first 5 years in the league. And he also draws a bunch of penalties. So I don't know what he did that was bad. Well, he did have the one where he probably would have, most times he catches it, the touchdown. He didn't do it there. But I don't know how you give Justin Jefferson anything below an 80. 68.4 is what they said he deserved. Johnny Munt, a guy who he comes in 3 here for the highest grade offensive players. And PFF doesn't like Johnny Munt very much. So to see them give him a 71.6, pretty surprising. He had the one big catch later. Apparently he must have done something good as far as blocking goes to get a 71.6. Brian O'Neill with a 74.5 comes in at number 2. Brian O'Neill is always solid. Always damn solid. I think Titans had just 2 sacks on the day. I don't think they came anywhere near from Brian O'Neill. Dude's one of the best. He's just simply one of the best right tackles in the NFL. And you're number 1. And PFF absolutely nailed the score. They got it right. They don't always get it right. I don't always agree with them, but I agree with them here wholeheartedly. Sam Darnold with a 90.8. Hell yeah, Sam Darnold's absolutely fantastic. The way he was escaping pressure in the pocket, slippery Sam, eluding a couple of sacks there early in this game. Then after that, not only eluding the sacks, but able to find an open receiver and throw first downs. He ran 8 times, 18 yards. He had the touchdown on the ground, 2 in the air. Beautiful bounce back game. He should have had 3 touchdowns if Jalen Naylor could catch, but he can't. He's horrible. He has hoof hands. But yeah, what a bounce back performance. 5 interceptions the last 2 games, comes back with nothing. A couple of times he made with the Justin Jefferson. We didn't have to, but overall, absolutely phenomenal game from Sam Darnold. So he deserves that score, and PFF, we agree. We agree with you 100% here at the Onebar and Lupagus show. So on that one, the rest, some of these other ones, we do not. So let me know what you guys think of these grades, of these scores. Do you agree for the most part? Do you think some of them are crazy? Do you think some of them are amazing, or spot on? Let me know. And you know what I'm going to say next. Keep your skull